Hey everyone, welcome back to Gundam Build Guide. I'm you, Buster Green, your host to this week, where we have even more hot, crazy things to look at. So let's start by looking at Battlogue Episode 4. So we start out in Episode 4, and the Barbatos is finally here. And the statue of the dude flies into it, starts controlling it, and he starts deleting everyone's gunpla data, which is totally fucked. He declares everyone's gunpla dead, and even though apparently that they still have the plastic models, what good are they if they can't play video games? I mean, come on. You spend all your money for plastic models that can't play video games? Come on. Anyway, the main characters seem like they're totally screwed, but suddenly Misa shows up to save them with the blazing Gundam. And the main characters all escape from the runner prison. Apparently, Misa's engineer figured out how to cure the computer virus that the loser made. And Misa has a massive protagonist energy again, and all the characters team up to fight the Barbatos. But even without its cheating, that thing is completely massive. So Misa figures out the loser is the loser from the American tournament from all his obvious obsessions and cues, and Santa says that he's stupid. Misa relates to the loser for hating on Takuma, but challenges him to a winner-take-all battle anyway. So at this point, he whips out his own personal AI mobile suit team, which consists of the Yu Kajima Black Arc 79G, the 4 Murasame Blue Wing Zero Sky, Z-Heart Galette in the Bloody Goof Custom Crimson, and finally Mr. Bushido in the Black Astray Invert. Now that I realize that all these units are actually modeled on custom pilots, that actually makes them way cooler. Anyway, the episode ends with Misa being worried about this, and this is the first episode in a long time where the episode has actually gotten longer. So that episode wasn't bad. It was a little better than the last couples in terms of the length and the stakes and what actually happened, and I'm actually impressed and glad that the recolored mobile suits now have a nice backstory to them, which is fun. Now let's flip over to normal Gundam news. This is going to be a short one. So everyone wants me to talk about this, I'm going to talk about this now. They released the first photo of the brand new Gundam in the live action movie. So far it looks super good. Now a few things I'm going to point out as your local Gundam expert, since the people want to know. First of all, the Gundam in this footage is severely battle damaged. It's missing its shoulder armors, and it has wires coming out of its arms. I think it might also be missing a part of its arm, and it has very considerable damage to its waist section. Now, the wires coming out of the waist make me want to think this is the RX-78-1 prototype Gundam being destroyed in some sort of early Xeon skirmish, or possibly the first raid by Zaku's on Side 7. I also want to say that because you can see empty sections and holes in the waist, that kind of indicates that there's no core fighter in there, which is another reason I think it's the RX-78-1. Now, they could have just Sam Raimi'd this up and completely removed or changed how the core fighter works, but there's also a chance this is the Gundam at the end battle in Abao Ku. But since I think they're planning on releasing these movies as a trilogy, I would say that's very unlikely. Why is it on fire though? That's totally a Gundam Unicorn thing. Now the other thing I need to point out about this first photograph is that overall the design seems to be the Hajime Katoki RX-78 with the presence of a few additional details and also strangely wider proportions. Now the strange wider proportions are definitely curious to me because it has a vague Gundam the Origin / Sid Mead Hollywood Gundam-esque smell to them, so I'm definitely intrigued by this first picture. In other normal Gundam news, Gundam Code Fairy came out on the PS5, and after very little coaxing, I went out and bought it. Now I'll have a full review actually ready in probably a week, but so far I'm completely loving it. Bandai really undersold what this is, and it's honestly an amazing and fresh experience. Now I'm currently halfway through volume 1 of 3, and I don't want to give a full review until I beat it, but if I beat it this week, I'll try to have the review ready like sometime next week. Alright, next up, Gundam Breaker Build Guide. Okay, so this week we have an average okay Sokai event. We have the brand new Gundam Love Phantom versus the improved Master Grade Scale Unicorn Gundam, which we've all seen a million times. Now, despite the fact I'm thrilled that the Unicorn Gundam has finally grown into a 1/100 scale big boy, and despite the fact that Maggie and I never really agreed on anything, I ended up swerving towards the Love Phantom and actually had really decent luck when I pulled on it. I did 7 pulls, and I got 2 of the heads, the arms, the legs, the double beam sight. I also got 2 Unicorn Gundam arms, and the saber from the Unicorn from the Double Sokai. So I actually got some pretty lucky pulls in this week, it seems like. Now, the Love Phantom, it actually has a lot of decent parts. It's got some brand new legs. It's got an upside-down Strike Nor backpack, which is a completely unique new part. It has a copy of the Def Cytel Scythe, but its copy is a rapid melee throwing item. And the big Unicorn Gundam is really just a Unicorn Gundam, but bigger. Quite frankly, I've seen too many Unicorn Gundams in this game, and even if it's bigger, it can't compete against a slightly new design like the Love Phantom. Oh, and here's my build of the week. I used all those Love Phantom parts to make a really cool Gundam Seed style unit. What do you think, guys? I think it's cool. Oh, and so I had a weird occurrence happen on my stream today. So I was in the arena, and this week I put together a cool arena unit, which is like, I don't know, a small Xeon like rapid shooter thing for the heavy armor tag. Anyway, long story short, I got into a fight against someone with an Andrew Waltfield custom Gundam, and for whatever reason, it was invincible. I can't figure out what happened in this fight or how it became invincible, but if anyone can enlighten me as to why this guy was invincible or why I couldn't hurt him, please do so, because I'm very curious what the hell happened here. Like, I'm reviewing the footage now because I can do that since I run a YouTube channel, and as it seems from my observation, he wasn't invincible when the battle started, but as the battle continued, his defense went higher and higher, until about 50 seconds in, he became completely invincible. I am very curious as to what this man did and how he defeated me. Once again, if anyone has any ideas how this was accomplished, I am so curious. Now, apart from all those new units, we have another Battlogue side story, which explains why Ran did not participate in Battlogue. She apparently logged out before the chaos got bad, and also the charity suit this week is the Freebie Perfect Strike Freedom. I am very, very happy with this one. It's actually a half-decent rapid shooter support unit, and it's really exceeded the expectations I had for it. Other than that, I finished the new battle circuit, the slow battle circuit. I actually did a speed run of the slow battle circuit because I thought that was ironic. Now, since my overall times are very good, if you guys give me like a day or so, I'm going to release a supercut of my speed run because I think that'll look really cool. And that's it for Gundam Build Guide this week. We have a lot of stuff in the works right now, and holy smokes, I only need 286 subscribers to get monetized. So how about that, guys? That's really crazy. If you guys can subscribe, that would be super appreciated because I am almost to my goal. Thank you. I will see you guys next week. Later.